the new transfer student, claimed to be the heroine of a redemption novel. I treated my deskmate to a cup of milk tea, but she rushed over and threw it away. I know you had a tragic childhood, so you're jealous that your deskmate has a happy family, but you shouldn't have drugged her. Don't worry, I'll redeem you. I shared my study materials with the entire class for free, but she rushed over and tore them to shreds. I know you've had a hard life. You've become twisted, but you shouldn't frame your classmates with fake materials. Right before the college entrance exam. Don't worry, I'll redeem you. As a result, I was ostracized by the entire class, branded a mentally twisted pervert, and forced by the school to withdraw. Yet she stepped forward, self-righteous as ever, and declared that she would redeem me no matter what. Everyone praised her kindness, and people online even dubbed her the Sunshine Goddess. After dying from depression, I was reborn. On the day the transfer student first arrived, my seatmate shared her snacks with me yesterday. Today I ordered a store-dash boba. I reach over to hand her the cup. The transfer student, Victoria, lunges across the aisle. She rips the cup from my grip and slams it into the trash can. Do not drink that, she shrieks. She turns to me. Her chest heaves with righteous indignation. I know you had a tragic childhood. You resent her happy family. But drugging her is crossing a line. It is her the exact same toxic script. Word for word. I'm back. God finally got sick of the joke and hit rewind. I just stare at her. She pivots to my terrified seatmate, dropping her voice into a sickly sweet register. You are safe now. I threw it away. He cannot hurt you. She glances back at me with exaggerated pity. This is Harrison's first time doing something so twisted. His toxic household ruined him. We should forgive him. I can save him. The whispers start. Eyes dart toward me, guarded and suspicious. In my past life, I panicked. I stuttered out pathetic denials. I assumed everyone would see through her delusional savior complex. I brushed it off. That was my fatal mistake. The isolation crept in. When I handed out my AP study guides, Victoria shredded them. I know your miserable life twisted your mind, but you cannot sabotage everyone's SAT scores with fake notes. The SAT dictates our entire future. Nobody believed my defense. They called me a psychopath, bullied me in the halls. Parents complained to the school board, until the principal expelled me. Victoria stood in front of the entire class and vowed to fix my broken soul, fix what I had. Loving parents, a perfectly normal childhood, no trauma to speak of. He posted the whole saga online. The internet canonized her as their sunshine goddess. I suffocated under the gaslighting. Clinical depression destroyed me. My parents' crushed expressions broke whatever was left inside my chest. I walked up to the school roof. I stepped off the ledge. Not this time. I push my chair back. It screeches against the tile. I step right into her personal space. I lock eyes with her. Are you clinically delusional? I ask. My voice is dead. Pan flat. What does my boba order have to do with you? I walk to the trash can. I pull the cup out. I grab the crumpled door-dash bag. I dangle the plastic in front of her face. I literally just broke the delivery seal in front of my seatmate. How exactly did I drug a factory-sealed cup? Victoria scoffs. She rolls her eyes. Stop gaslighting us, Harrison. We all know you poisoned it. I reach into my pocket. I pull out my phone. I hit record. I shove the camera lens toward her. Go on, I say. Tell the camera exactly how you know I poisoned a sealed drink. Show them the evidence. This is my order. The freshly opened delivery bag and the boba cup are right here. Victoria lunges forward to swap the camera away. What are you doing? Stop recording. I know I hurt your ego by exposing you, he says, but what you did is toxic. If I keep quiet, I am enabling you to hurt others. It's not your fault. Your childhood was a tragedy. Even if you almost crossed the line, I will pull you out of the abyss. I will save you. A dry laugh escapes my throat. Are you clinically insane? Tell me exactly how my childhood was a tragedy. Diagnose my twisted mind. Go ahead. She lifts her chin, fully embracing her savior complex. Do not think I am clueless just because I am new. Your parents prioritized their business over you. You were raised by nannies. You were passed around to relatives' houses like a burden. It is so sad. She actually stalked my background. My parents are busy executives, sure, but our nanny never replaced their affection. And those summers at my relatives' houses, they begged me to visit because they adored me. How did her twisted brain spin that into a tragic backstory? Stop projecting your weird delusions onto me. My childhood was perfectly fine. Toria shakes her head, drowning in denial. It is okay to deflect. People with severe trauma act out. I can still fix you. I cut her off with a cold stare. Save the script for TikTok. You want to frame me for poisoning a drink? Not happening. I dialed the boba shop on speakerphone. It is also an old shop that has been open for several years. It is the stable spot right across the street. Hey, I just got a DoorDash delivery from you guys. I say. My classmate is screaming that the drink is laced with drugs. Send a manager over right now, or I'm calling the cops. Victoria's eyes widen. The mask slips. Why would you call the store? I give her a flat, weaponized look to clear my name. You swore the drink was laced. I know I did not touch it. Logically, the baristas must be trying to poison us. The manager sprints into the classroom. Minutes later, a drug allegation could shut his business down overnight. He is out of breath and furious. Who is spreading rumors about our drinks? I point a single finger at Victoria. Her Toria shrinks back in pure panic. No, it was Harrison. He put the drugs in. I let out a mocking snort. The whole class is watching. Everyone heard you scream that the boba was poisoned. My seatmate nods vigorously. Yeah, you are the one who yelled about drugs. You snatched it and threw it away before anyone even touched it. The surrounding classmates mutter in agreement. The tide shifts instantly. The manager glares at Victoria. What gives you the right to slander my shop? Are you trying to ruin my livelihood over a prank? Victoria points a trembling finger back at me. He did it. Harrison poisoned it. I crossed my arms, letting her unravel. My seatmate literally watched me break the delivery seal on the bag. You ran over and claimed it was drugged. If there is something in that cup, it came from your imagination or their kitchen. The manager pulls out his phone. This complete slander. I am calling the police. Victoria lunges forward to grab his arm. Wait. Do not call the cops. She spins to me. Her voice drips with desperate manipulation. Harrison, just admit what you did. Why are you dragging the police into this? I roll my eyes. The absolute audacity. Why would I confess to a crime I did not commit? The police arrive. Situation spirals out of control. Even the school administration gets dragged into the mess. The shop owner refuses to let Victoria off the hook. He demands the cops run a full toxicology screen on the boba. He offers to pay for the lab test himself. He makes it crystal clear that if the cup is clean, he is pressing charges against Victoria for defamation and suing for damages. Victoria bursts into tears. He knows better than anyone that the drink is completely fine. Cornered by the threat of a lawsuit, she finally breaks. She admits the poisoning accusation was a complete fabrication. She walks out of the principal's office, sobbing uncontrollably. The whispers in the hallway erupt into full-blown gossip. Did you see the owner? He looked ready to throw a punch. If the principal had not calmed him down, he was going to sue her for $100,000. Why would she do that? What kind of psycho frames Harrison for drugging a drink? I finally speak up. My tone is perfectly even. Actually, I know exactly why Victoria said that. He asked me to buy her a boba earlier, and I said no. She held a grudge and decided to frame me. I look right at her. Victoria, it is just a drink. Did you really need to go to these extremes just to get back at me? Victoria, who is currently crying on her desk, snaps her head up in absolute shock. When did I ever ask you to buy me a drink? During the passing period. I reply without missing a beat. There are no security cameras in the classroom. No matter how she tries to spin it, she has zero proof. He looks around at the glaring faces. I didn't, she says. Her voice is weak and futile, but her drug accusation was already unhinged. Now that my name is entirely cleared, my version of the story sounds perfectly logical to everyone. The entire class turns on her instantly. Are you kidding me? If you want boba, just buy it yourself. Expecting him to pay for it is such a red flag. He rejects her. So she tries to ruin his life with a fake crime. That is genuinely terrifying. What a toxic stalker. The students physically step away from her desk, creating a quarantine zone. Victoria's face drains of color. She never expected me to reverse the narrative and weaponize it against her. She ended up publicly humiliating herself. She is so obsessed with playing the savior, yet she cannot even save herself from this PR nightmare. The class treats me just like they used to, if not better. Sorry, we almost doubted you, man. Do not let it get to you. That new girl is seriously manipulative. Who even comes up with a stunt like that? I offer them an easy, unaffected smile. I figure the public embarrassment will keep her in check. I assume she will lay low. I am wrong. Victoria did not lay low. Delusional narcissists never do. When reality refuses to bend to their script, they simply double down on the performance. For the next 3 days, Victoria adopted the role of the silent martyr. She sat at her desk with her head bowed, staring blankly at her textbooks, sighing. dramatically whenever someone walked past. Whenever a teacher called on her, she would lower her eyes and answer in a quiet, trembling voice, as if she were carrying the weight of the whole world's sins on her frail shoulders. The class ignored her. High school seniors preparing for the college entrance exams have neither the time nor the emotional bandwidth for someone else's theatrical pity party. Then came Thursday. In my past life, Thursday was the day I printed out 60 pages of compiled AP Physics and SAT Math high-frequency question breakdowns. I had spent 3 weeks staying up past midnight synthesizing 5 years of mock exams, cross-referencing answer keys, and writing out step-by-step problem-solving shortcuts. I brought a stack of printed copies to school, intending to hand them out to anyone who wanted them. In that past life, Victoria had waited until homeroom when the entire class was present to snatch the stack from my hands, dump it into the paper shredder beside the podium, and scream that I was handing out altered answer keys to ruin everyone's scores right before the finals. I remembered the cold horror of that moment. I remembered how my classmates, already frayed by exam stress, panicked and turned on me instantly. This time, I was ready. That morning, I walked into the classroom carrying a heavy, bound stack of study guides fresh from the print shop. The paper smelled of warm ink and crisp collating. The moment I placed the stack on the corner of my desk, I caught Victoria's eyes snapping toward it from across the room. Her pupils dilated with manic excitement. She can't resist, I thought, suppressing a grim smile. It's in her code. Heroines have to save the day, even if they have to invent the catastrophe first. I stood up, leaving the stack sitting unattended on my desk, and stepped out into the hallway to speak with the class representative, Marcus. Through the glass window of the back door, I watched her. Victoria waited 20 seconds. She glanced around. Most of our classmates were huddled in groups discussing mock exam scores or eating breakfast. She stood up, smoothed her uniform skirt, and walked with deliberate, purposeful strides toward my seat. She reached my desk, grabbed the entire stack of study guides, and marched straight toward the heavy-duty electric shredder stationed in the corner of the classroom, a recent gift from the parent-teacher committee for clearing old practice tests. Click. She flipped the power switch on. The machine groaned to life, its steel blades whirring beneath the plastic flap. "Victoria, what are you doing?" Marcus called out, turning around just as she lifted the first 50 pages above the feeder slot. Victoria's face transformed instantly into a picture of terrifying, holy righteousness. Tears welled in her eyes on command. "Don't come any closer," she shrieked, her voice echoing off the concrete walls of the hallway. "I won't let him ruin your futures. I know you're all stressed, but you can't trust these." She fed the first thick sheaf into the throat of the shredder. Grrrr crunch. White paper vanished into the mouth of the machine, raining down as microshreds into the transparent bin below. The classroom went dead silent. Everyone froze, staring at her in utter disbelief. "Harrison's mind is twisted," Victoria cried out, tears spilling down her cheeks as she shoved the second batch into the blades. "His parents never loved him, so he wants all of us to fail. I checked his formulas, he inverted the calculus proofs. He altered the organic chemistry reactions. If you memorize these notes, you will fail the entrance exam. I am protecting you." She slammed the final stack into the machine, her hands shaking with ecstatic fervor. She looked like a martyr burning at the stake, utterly intoxicated by her own self-manufactured heroism. "I know you hate me for this, Harrison." She turned to me as I slowly walked back into the room through the front door, her voice trembling with tragic beauty. "You can hit me. You can ruin my reputation. But I will not stand by while you drag 30 innocent lives down into your abyss. I will redeem you, even if I have to suffer alone." She stood back, panting, arms crossed over her chest, waiting for the applause. She waited for the realization to wash over our classmates, for them to turn to me with rage and demand an explanation. Nothing happened. The shredder finished its work with a long, satisfying work click and went quiet. I didn't panic. I didn't stutter. I didn't raise my voice. Instead, I pulled my phone out of my pocket, tapped the screen, and placed it on the teacher's podium. A clear, crisp audio file began playing through the Bluetooth speaker mounted on the wall. It was a recording of the school's academic affairs director, Director Vance, regarding the study materials compiled by Harrison Vance. "No relation to me. Haha, our senior physics and math departments have thoroughly vetted all 60 pages. The shortcuts are brilliant, the formula proofs are flawless. and the mock question selections are remarkably accurate. The school administration has approved these materials for grade-wide distribution. The audio cut off. Victoria's face turned from flushed red to ash white in a fraction of a second. That's fake," she stammered, stepping back against the wall. "You forged that audio. You." "I didn't print those notes from a home printer, Victoria," I said, my voice quiet, even, and terrifyingly clear. "Every single page I brought today was officially stamped, sealed, and serialized by the Academic Affairs Department. Director Vance personally signed the top cover of each copy this morning at 7:30 a.m. I pointed to the transparent bin of the shredder. Visible through the plastic was the bright red official seal of the school board, now chopped into neat horizontal ribbons. "You didn't just shred my personal notes," I continued, taking a step toward her. "You just destroyed 60 copies of officially approved school review materials, authorized by the principal, paid for out of the class fund, and stamped with the state academic board seal." Marcus, the class rep, stood up, his face livid. "Victoria, those were the official master review packets Director Vance mentioned in assembly yesterday. We paid $20 each from the class fund to have them professionally bound at the printing center." No, Victoria's voice cracked. "He tampered with them. I saw his drafts. He's a psychopath. He has a tragic backstory." "Will you shut up about my backstory?" I snapped, my voice cutting through her hysterics like a razor. "My father is a senior partner at a logistics firm. My mother is a chief medical officer. They take me on vacation twice a year. They paid for my tutoring, and they buy me whatever I need. Where are you getting this fanfiction about my abandoned childhood?" I pulled up my phone's photo gallery and projected my screen onto the classroom's smart whiteboard. There, displayed in crisp 4K resolution, was a family photo from last Christmas. My parents and I sitting in front of a giant Christmas tree in our living room, all three of us holding ski gear, smiling warmly. Beside it was a bank transfer receipt showing my mother sending me $500 for my birthday last week with the note, "Have fun with your friends, sweetheart. Don't study too hard." The classroom erupted into noise. Is she insane? She keeps talking about his tragic childhood. Dude's dad drives a Porsche. She literally destroyed our official school study guides. Call the homeroom teacher. Call Director Vance. Victoria backed up until her spine hit the chalkboard. Her eyes darted around the room, searching desperately for a single face showing sympathy, a single person who would play along with her script. She found none. Every pair of eyes staring back at her was filled with disgust, anger, or pity. "You," Victoria whispered, staring at me with genuine horror. "You're not supposed to act like this. You're supposed to be broken. You're supposed to let me save you." "I don't need saving," I said, walking up to her until I was standing less than 2 feet away. "And if you keep trying to play the savior at my expense, Victoria, I will burn your little fantasy world to the ground." The school acted swiftly this time, with official school property destroyed and Director Vance's personal signature shredded into confetti. Victoria was issued a severe disciplinary warning and ordered to pay $1,200 out of pocket to reprint the entire batch of materials for the class. Her parents were summoned to the school. Her parents, as it turned out, were completely ordinary, overworked middle class people who looked utterly exhausted by their daughter's behavior. When her mother walked into the principal's office, she didn't defend Victoria. She simply covered her face and wept, apologizing repeatedly to my parents and the school administrators. "She's been doing this since middle school," her mother sobbed in the hallway. After the meeting, loud enough for several students to hear. "She reads those web novels all night. She thinks she's the chosen main character of the world. At her last school, she accused a boy of stealing her money just so she could forgive him in front of the teacher and look like an angel. We had to transfer her here because no one would talk to her anymore." The truth exploded through the school like wildfire. Victoria wasn't a savior. She wasn't a saint. She was a delusional clout chaser with a severe main character complex, pathologically desperate to play the role of the benevolent goddess redeeming a tragic villain. For 3 days, Victoria stayed home, claiming severe emotional distress. I thought she had finally broken. I thought the embarrassment would force her to keep her head down until graduation. I underestimated how far a narcissist will go when their reality collapses. On Sunday night, while I was reviewing biology flashcards in my bedroom, my phone buzzed with a frantic notification from Marcus. "Marcus. Harrison, Look at TikTok right now. Search Sunshine Goddess Victoria. She's live. My heart cold dropped. I immediately opened the app and searched the name. There she was. Victoria was sitting in a dimly lit room, dressed in a simple white linen shirt. No makeup, her eyes swollen and red, her face deathly pale. The title of her live stream was staggering: School Violence, Gaslighting, and the Tragic Boy I Couldn't Save. The viewer count was climbing rapidly: 15K, 32K, 78K. She had posted a heavily edited, 30-second clip from the boba incident on her page earlier that day. The clip was meticulously trimmed. It cut out the delivery bag, cut out the boba shop manager, and cut out her confession. It only showed me towering over her, speaking in a cold, monotone voice. Are you clinically insane? Tell me exactly how my childhood was a tragedy. Followed by a text overlay. He threatened me after I tried to stop him from hurting himself and others. His wealthy family bribed the school to cover it up. I'm scared, but I won't give up on him. On the live stream, Victoria was dabbing her eyes with a tissue, speaking in a fragile, trembling voice to nearly 100,000 live viewers. I know many of you are telling me to give up, she whimpered, looking directly into the camera. You're saying Harrison is beyond saving. You're saying his family's money makes him untouchable. But I believe every broken soul deserves a second chance. His parents were never home. He was neglected. That's why he projects his rage onto the world. When he threw those forged study materials at me, when he forced me to pay for them, I didn't hate him. I only felt sorrow. The comment section was flying by at terrifying speed. User 88392. OMG, poor girl. She's literally an angel. Justice for Victoria. Rich. Kids getting away with school bullying again? Expose his school. Real talk _99. Look at his eyes in that video. He looks like a total sociopath. Someone investigate his parents. Goddess Victoria fan. We stand with you, Sunshine. Goddess. Don't let the bully win. In my past life, this was the exact moment that killed me. She had pulled the same internet smear campaign after I was expelled. Tens of thousands of cyberbullies had doxed my family address, sent death threats to my mother's hospital, vandalized my father's car, and left hundreds of reviews, calling my parents child abusers. The sheer weight of the internet's righteous rage had crushed my parents' spirits and pushed me over the edge of that roof. I stared at the screen, my chest burning with a cold, terrifying rage. Not this time, Victoria. You want to play with public opinion? Let's play. I didn't try to leave comments. I didn't record a desperate video trying to explain myself. Internet mobs don't listen to explanations. They listen to spectacle. I walked downstairs into the study. My father was sitting at his desk, reading financial reports. My mother was sitting on the sofa, drinking chamomile tea. Mom, Dad, I said quietly, holding on my phone. We need to go live. My father is a corporate negotiator who has handled multi-million-dollar crisis management cases for listed companies. My mother is a medical doctor who serves on ethics boards. When I showed them the stream and explained what Victoria had been doing over the past 3 weeks, how she had tried to ruin my reputation at school, shredded official documents, and was now broadcasting libel to 100,000 strangers, their expressions didn't show panic. They showed a terrifying, icy composure. She is broadcasting defamation against a minor, accusing us of child neglect and bribery, and using edited footage to incite cyber harassment, my father said softly, closing his laptop. That crosses from high school drama into criminal defamation and tortious interference. Call Lawyer Chun, my mother said, her voice dropping an octave. And turn on the tripod. 10 minutes later, Victoria was still on her stream, tears flowing freely as she read out fake poetic quotes about healing the broken. I just want Harrison to know, she sobbed, that even if the whole world turns against him, I will still be standing here, waiting to pull him out of the darkness. Beep. A battle request popped up on Victoria's screen. In live streaming platforms, a PK or joint battle allows two streamers to split the screen and speak directly to each other's audiences. The request came from an account that had just been created 5 minutes ago, named @Harrison_Vance_official. Victoria blinked, caught off guard. Her eyes flashed with a split second of panic, followed immediately by triumph. He's taking the bait, she must have thought. A angry, stuttering teenager coming on live to yell at me will only make him look more guilty. Guys, Victoria said to her audience, putting on a brave, tragic smile. Harrison is requesting to join. Please, please be kind to him. He's hurting. She hit accept. The screen split down the middle. On the left side, Victoria, sitting in her dim room, looking frail and tearful. On the right side, a pristine, brightly lit home study. Sitting in the center was not a panicking, enraged teenager. Sitting at the table were 3 people. Me, wearing my neat school uniform, my father, dressed in a tailored charcoal suit, and my mother, wearing her white lab coat with her hospital ID badge clearly visible. Standing right behind us was a middle-aged man in a sharp blue suit, holding a leather briefcase. The chat went dead quiet for a second, then exploded with questions. User 12. Who are those old people? Tech guy. Wait, isn't that Dr. Vance, the chief of medicine at St. Jude's? Lawyer_Steve. Who's the guy in the blue suit? Holy crap, is that Chinwei? He's the top defamation attorney in the state. I looked straight into the camera lens. Good evening, Victoria, I said, my voice smooth, calm, and utterly devoid of emotion. I saw your stream. You mentioned that my parents neglected me, that I was raised by nannies, and that my family bribed the school board. I thought it would be best if my parents and our legal counsel answered those points directly. Victoria's breath hitched. Harrison, you don't have to bring your parents into this. I know they force you to. My father leaned forward, placing his large, capable hands flat on the desk. His authority was absolute, honed by decades in boardroom battles. Miss Victoria, my father said, his voice echoing with deep, thunderous resonance through the speakers of 120,000 viewers. My name is Arthur Vance. And the father you claimed abandoned my son. Over the last 17 years, I have maintained a record of every single family holiday, medical checkup, school, performance report, and milestone in Harrison's life. They are currently being uploaded to a public Google Drive linked in our bio. My mother stepped forward, her face calm and icy. I am Dr. Elena Vance. As Chief Medical Officer, my schedules are public record. I have never missed a single parent-teacher conference in Harrison's entire academic career. Furthermore, regarding your claim that we bribed the school board director, Vance of Academic Affairs is my husband's second cousin. He personally verified that the study guides Harrison provided were legal, accurate, and created entirely by Harrison over 3 weeks of hard work. Victoria's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. I saw the proof. He altered the notes. The man standing behind us, my father interrupted coldly, is Mr. Chun, Sr., partner at Chun and Associates. Mr. Chun, please proceed. The lawyer stepped into the frame, opening a thick manila folder. Miss Victoria, Lawyer Chun said in a crisp, dry, terrifyingly professional tone. At 8:15 p.m. tonight, we filed an emergency injunction with the municipal district court. We have recorded your entire live stream, archived your edited video clips, and documented 4,200 defamatory comments directed at the Vance family. He held up a stamped legal document directly to the camera. We are suing you and your legal guardians for criminal defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and public slander, seeking damages in the amount of $250,000. Furthermore, we have submitted a formal request to the Cyber Police Unit to trace and archive all IP addresses partaking in targeted death threats against my clients. The comment section on Victoria's stream lost its mind. User 99. Holy shit. A real lawsuit on live stream. Justice for Victoria. Wait. She lied. Real talk_99. Bro, his mom is a doctor and his dad brought a $1,000 per hour lawyer onto TikTok. She fucked up so bad. Goddess Victoria fan. Oh my God, look at her face. Victoria was shaking violently. The tragic, martyr facade crumbled completely, exposing the raw, ugly terror underneath. You can't sue me, she shrieked, her voice dropping its sickly sweet tone, becoming shrill and hysterical. I'm a student. I was just trying to help him. He has a dark soul. He's supposed to be redeemed. Help him. I spoke up, taking the lead. Victoria, let's talk about how you helped people at your previous school. I tapped my tablet screen, sharing an image directly onto the live battle stream. It was a scanned police report from 2 years ago, from Victoria's former high school in West District. 2 years ago, I said, reading the text clearly for the 150,000 viewers now watching. You targeted a student named Daniel. You claimed he stole $500 from the class fund. You staged a scene in the classroom where you forgave him and offered to pay the money back out of your own pocket so he wouldn't be reported. Daniel was ostracized, suffered severe anxiety, and transferred schools. I flipped to the next slide, a signed statement from Daniel's parents and the school's investigation summary. 2 months later, the school security footage was finally recovered during a system upgrade. It showed you taking the $500 out of the drawer yourself and hiding it in your locker. You framed him entirely so you could play the merciful angel who saved him. The stream chat went absolutely nuclear. Comments scrolling at 100 lines per second. Psycho. She's a serial framer. What the actual fuck? She literally ruins people's lives for clout. Someone clip this. Sunshine Goddess is a sociopath. Lock her up. Victoria stared at the screen, her eyes wide, unblinking, filled with pure, unadulterated horror. Her illusion, the grand narrative where she was the noble heroine saving broken boys, was not just cracked, it was utterly obliterated in front of 250,000 people. No, no, turn it off. Turn it off. She screamed, lunging across her desk and slamming her hand onto her phone. The stream went black. Monday morning at Westlake High School was unlike anything the school had ever seen. The live stream from the night before had gone viral. Highlights of the legal confrontation and the police report from her old school had gathered over 5 million views overnight across multiple platforms. The nickname Sunshine Goddess had turned into an internet meme mocking toxic narcissism and fake saviors. When Victoria walked through the school gates at 7:30 a.m., accompanied by her visibly distraught parents, the hallway fell into an uncomfortable, suffocating silence. Students didn't just ignore her. They actively parted like the Red Sea as she walked past, pulling their backpacks close, staring at her with unconcealed horror and mockery. "Don't get too close," someone whispered loudly near the lockers. "She might frame you for stealing to show off her forgiveness." Is that the girl who brought a lawyer onto TikTok and got sued for $250,000? Another student snickered. "Look at her. She still thinks she's in a web novel." Victoria kept her head down, her hands clenched into white-knuckled fists, tears silently dripping onto the linoleum floor. She was summoned to the principal's office immediately over the morning intercom. My parents, Lawyer Chin, and I were already sitting inside. The principal, a stern man in his 50s, looked exhausted. On his desk were 3 thick stacks of paper, petitions signed by over 200 parents, demanding Victoria's immediate expulsion, the legal notice served by our attorney, and a formal administrative reprimand from the State District Board of Education. "Mr. and Mrs. Lee," the principal said, addressing Victoria's parents, "I am deeply sorry, but the school board has reached a unanimous decision. Victoria's actions have severely disrupted the academic environment, damaged the reputation of our institution, and caused immense psychological harassment to her peers." Victoria's father buried his face in his hands. Her mother squeezed her eyes shut, weeping silently. "Victoria Lee is hereby officially expelled from Westlake High School," the principal announced, his voice firm and absolute. "Her academic records will reflect a disciplinary discharge for severe slander and willful destruction of school property." Victoria snapped. The quiet, fragile, pathetic act completely vanished. She shoved her chair back, her face contorting into an ugly, demonic mask of rage. "Expelled," she screamed, pointing a trembling, ink-stained finger at me. "You can't expel me. I am the heroine. I came to this school to save him. He was supposed to jump off the roof. He was supposed to die so I could write my book about him. He's cheating. He's cheating the script." The room went dead silent. My father's eyes narrowed into slits. My mother gripped my hand tightly. "He was supposed to jump off the roof." Those words sent an icy chill down my spine. She didn't just have a savior complex. She had actually known, or envisioned, my suicide from the previous timeline. In her sick, twisted mind, my suffering, my depression, and my death were nothing more than plot points designed to elevate her into a saint. "Take her away," the principal said quietly, his voice laced with profound disgust. "Now." 2 security guards stepped into the office, taking Victoria by her arms. She kicked and screamed the entire way down the hallway, her shrill, unhinged shrieks echoing off the concrete walls. You're all NPCs. You're all supposed to hate him. Why are you not hating him? I am the sunshine goddess. I am the heroine. Harrison, you owe me your redemption. You owe me. Her voice faded as they dragged her out the front doors and into the waiting police cruiser. 6 months later, the summer sun beat down on the courtyard of Westlake High School. The air was filled with the smell of blooming cicadas and fresh green leaves. Today was the release of the National College Entrance Examination results. The bulletin board in the main courtyard was surrounded by hundreds of students, parents and teachers cheering, hugging, and crying tears of relief. Marcus clapped me on the shoulder, laughing out loud as he pointed to the very top of the printed rankings list. Rank 1, statewide Harrison Vance, score 742/750. Unbelievable, man. Marcus cheered. State top scholar. Harvard and Peking University are going to be fighting over you by noon. I looked at the bold black letters of my name on the board, feeling the warm summer breeze brush against my face. There was no shadow hanging over my head, no suffocating chest pain, no clinical depression, no terrifying ledge looking down into an abyss. My parents stood a few feet away, holding a giant bouquet of sunflowers. My mother was wiping away tears of joy, and my father was smiling with uncharacteristic, beaming pride, showing my results to his colleagues on the phone. As for Victoria, lawyer Chen had executed the lawsuit with surgical precision. Victoria's family was forced to sell their apartment to pay for the defamation damages and legal fees because of her unhinged outburst in the principal's office and her history of pathological fabrications. Court-ordered psychiatric evaluations deemed her a severe danger to others and herself. She was placed under mandatory psychiatric care at a closed residential facility, her academic record permanently ruined, banned from taking the national exams for 3 years. The internet had long forgotten her. In the fast-moving world of social media, the Sunshine Goddess was just a warning tale, a brief, absurd joke about the dangers of delusional narcissism. She had wanted so desperately to be the main character in a tragic redemption story. In the end, she became nothing more than a self-inflicted cautionary tale, consumed entirely by the darkness she tried so hard to manufacture for others. I pulled out my phone, took a picture of the top rank on the board, and sent it to our family group chat. My seatmate from high school walked past, holding a cup of cold, factory-sealed boba tea. "Hey Harrison," she called out, grinning warmly. "Congrats on rank 1. 1A. Sip." I laughed, the sound bright, light, and completely free. "Thanks," I said, stepping into the brilliant, blinding sunshine. "I'll buy the next round." The rewind button had been pressed. The toxic script had been burned. And for the first time in 2 lifetimes, the story was truly mine.